Hello and welcome to Ecoholics. This is the second video in the discussion of the mains paper of economics optional conducted by UPSC in the month of January 2022. So we are discussing paper 2, that is of Indian economy, and we'll discuss three important main questions in this video. And if you haven't seen the previous video, you can watch that video, link is given in the description. So let's discuss the questions because the previous video is very important, so I recommend you again to watch that in order to understand this video. Okay, so first thing is we are discussing about how to comprehend the question. So that we are discussing on the same lines. This is the directive word I have explained in the previous video, and I have also explained the terms related that they ask you in UPSC examination. There is a separate video, the link is also there in the description. Compare the main features of development of jute and cotton textile industry in India during the British period. This is a question. So whenever you write question in the examination, first try to decode the question. First try to understand what they are asking. So what you have to write here is main features. It means there are many features, but here you have to write main features. It means the major points. So main features of development of, so here the word development, of two types of industry, jute and cotton. You understand? Cash crops, commercialization of agriculture we discussed in the last video during the British period. So it was very simple question asked in the examination, that main features. So what you have to write? First you have to write compare. This is the word. So in the introduction what you have to write? That the jute and cotton textile, two different industry, two different location is required. So what you will write? In jute, that is major prominent in the West Bengal area or modern day Bangladesh also at that time, and cotton textile is also a very much prominent in the eastern part as well as in the western part of our country. So main features you have to compare. First, industrial revolution. Okay. The second feature was land system. Okay. Third, these were the cash crops. Fourth, it was a raw material for industries established in England. So Manchester, we say na, that was very famous for textile just because of that. So they were making finished goods by using the raw material of India. So these are the things, very simple question, bookish question you have to write. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Let's move on to the second one. Here the word analyze. In the previous video I had explained. Analyze the trends. So here you have to analyze the trend in the production of primary goods and capital goods in Indian industries during the pre-liberalization period. Now here, what is the period of pre-liberalization? So I can say 1951, because 1951 is the time where we have started planning process. Okay, so I wouldn't say 1947 because the country was establishing. Then 1991, that was the period of pre-liberalization, before liberalization. 1991 was the year. Now here, primary and capital, it means primary, secondary, or we can say. So there were two models. One was Mahalanobis model and another was Brahmananda model of wage good, that was, I can say, Bombay school, and here Mahalanobis was Calcutta school. Although everyone knows that we have implemented the Mahalanobis model, that was started in the year 1956 to 1961, the second 5-year plan. So trend you have to analyze of 50 years, almost 50 years. You have to analyze the trend. Now the trend is very simple. That first, if I talk about 1951, and here I'll write decadal analysis, 1981 and 1991. So here you can say between this period, it was mainly agriculture focused, later on focused on industry. Then this year, this decade was not very good for Indian economy. Lot of disturbances, war, drought, green revolution, these are the things. Then again 1971 war, political disturbances, emergency, and there were factors internationally dependent. Then again BOP crisis, deficit, debt, and there were wars, Gulf War, etc. So lot of ups and downs Indian industry has seen. But here they are not talking about Indian industry. Here they are talking about production of primary and capital goods. So what I say that the second 5-year plan, the production went up. But just because of less capital, then again production went down. Then Indian industry again started booming in 70s and 80s just because of few acts supported by the government. Then again international opening up started, especially I can say during 80s, gradual liberalization. Although the liberalization we can say happened in 1991, but it was not all of a sudden. It was a gradual process started in the 80s. I can say after Rajiv Gandhi era. So these are the things. So whenever the question comes about trend, you have to give little bit of data as well in order to support your argument. So whatever you write with evidences, and without data you cannot give. So just give data that at that time industries were growing at that pace, and etc, etc. Last question for this video. This is a very important term. Critically analyze the performance of public sector enterprises during the pre-reform period. Again the period remains same, 1951 to 1991. Here they are talking about public sector enterprises, or what we call PSUs, public sector undertaking, same thing. It means sarkar ki companiyan, government undertakings, their performance. Now here the word is critically analyze. Now whenever UPSC will ask anything about critical, they ask some event or some big period. Now you can see that the period is of 40 years. Now what is important here? In critically analyze, you have to mention the positives, negatives, and you have to mention with the evidences, with proof. If you are criticizing something, provide some proofs. If you are appraising or praising something, provide proof. And then at last, you draw some conclusion. Without conclusion, you will not get marks. So here critically analyze, it means first you take some criticism, what we call constructive criticism. If suppose right now if you go to like any friend's place, or if you talk about any intellectual person, they are talking about problems. UPSC doesn't want that you will highlight the problems in the examination. Why they are conducting the exam? The only reason why they are conducting the exam is they will get the solution from you. If you are not able to provide the solution in the answer copy, they will not see you as a future bureaucrat. Because the first responsibility of the bureaucrat is to provide the solution. If you are highlighting the problem without solution, you will not get marks. So the main motive of answer writing is to get the solution in the examination. If you are not able to provide solution, UPSC will say bye bye. So simple is, whatever you are critically analyzing, provide with the solution, constructive criticism. Suppose you are saying that I am not teaching good. Now you have to tell the reason. What are the things that you don't like? Okay, that is constructive criticism. If you are just criticizing our Prime Minister without any evidences, that is also UPSC doesn't want. So here, why the performance of the public sector enterprise? I can say the first thing is lot of restrictions were there. The second thing is that the government should not micromanage these PSEs. So lot of problem of approvals, delaying, etc. The third thing is burdening debt. There were a lot of debt. For example, those who have recruited in 1950s, their retirement was due in 80s. Lot of people retired in 1980s. Again, recruiting new people plus paying pensions to the ex-employees. Debt went up. Then market crumbled. And in 1990s, public sector was not able to sustain. They had to borrow. So one reason is this. Another reason, very important reason behind this is a lot of excessive government control. less freedom. They were having all the responsibilities without authority. So administrative problem. The third problem is regarding the market. Market was not free. When the market was not free, it means they were not able to provide their own pricing. Pricing was decided by the market. That should be there, but pricing was decided by the authorities. You cannot do this. If you read history, you will realize the market should be free. If market is not free, it's difficult. So I hope you understand what to write in this and what are the things you have to take care, especially in the critically analyzed question. Okay, I hope you like this video. If you like this video, give a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe Ecoholics. Apart from that, there are several PDFs available on the Ecoholics mobile app, which is freely available. So you can just download that app. Link is given in the description. There are a series of videos. We will discuss many questions in the series of videos. So stay tuned and follow the series. Thank you so much and have a nice day.